What's good, YouTube? It's Nas, and we back with another video. Road to 300 subscribers, of course. We're gonna keep going every day. But in today's video, we're gonna be talking about Shai Gilgeous Alexander, because a lot of people are underrating Shai. Not by underrating what I mean, like he's obviously, they already know that he's one of the best basketball players on the planet right now. But his name is not really in the MVP conversations right now. And it's surprising because the Thunder are the number one seed in basketball right now. I believe they're better than the Cavs, I think, or they're the second best, whatever you want to call it. But Shai has taken the league by storm. He's only 26 years old. He's going to keep getting better. And in this video, I'm going to be looking at his stats, see how he's improved over the years, and then we're going to compare him to other point guards or other great all-time point guards, even Russell Westbrook, that used to play on the Thunder. And we're going to be comparing him to Stephen Curry, obviously, now. But in his rookie season with the Clippers, I don't know if y'all want me to cover that or not. He averaged basically 11 points, 3 rebounds, and 3 assists. And you can't honestly say with a cold-heartedly heart that you thought that Shai was going to blossom into this all-time great, or this projected all-time great, that which he is doing right now. Because even though Shai was starting on a Clippers team, which had Lou Will, Patrick Beverly, all that, they upset the Warriors for one game, blah, blah, blah. But Shai was detrimental in that role. And if you really think about it, that Paul George trade for the Oklahoma City Thunder is going to be one of the best trades, or the best trade for their franchise history. But for the Clippers, that has to be the worst trade of all time, because you see how Shai has actually developed into this superstar and this marketable player in this league. But in his next season, in the 2019-2020 season, he averaged 19 points per game, 6 rebounds, and 3 assists. And this is when you could say that actually you saw flashes of what Shai could become, because obviously, I don't know if y'all remember, but the Thunder had a 0.5 percentage of making the playoffs that season. And Chris Paul being traded for Russell Westbrook, obviously, they didn't expect not too much of him. And Chris Paul really helped the development of all of those players on that roster. Shai Gilgeous Alexander, Shai, all of them. That three guard lineup, I hope y'all remember that, because that was deadly during the regular season. And they forced a good Rockets team to a Game 7. Obviously, they didn't get it done in Game 7, but that team was fun to watch during the regular season. I really wasn't paying too much attention to them because, you know, I was a Russell Westbrook fan, and wherever Westbrook went, I went. So that's just how I was. But in the 2020-2021 season, he averaged 23.5 points per game, basically 5 rebounds and 6 assists, which marked it being his team now, because obviously Chris Paul was traded to the Phoenix Suns that year, and Shai took over the mantle. And they were looked at as a rebuilding team, and they would probably be rebuilding for the next 5 years. That's what, according to executives and ESPN, all of those so-called professionals, they were saying that the Thunder weren't going to be good for a long while, and it would take them a while. And Shai is just putting up numbers on a bad team, which wouldn't help his career in the long run. But I saw something on Twitter today when I was going back home, because obviously I'm home for college. They had Talen Horton-Tucker ranked over Shai in 2021, 2022. And that was the dumbest shit I've ever seen. And we obviously know. Hopefully, some of y'all probably don't know where Talen Horton-Tucker is right now, but he's on the Chicago Bulls right now. And he's barely getting PT. He looks like an LA Fitness player, blah, blah, blah. But obviously, we saw what Shai has became. But in the 2021-2022 season, Shai averaged 24.5 points per game, 5 rebounds, and 6 assists. And you can honestly say the Thunder were on steady growth. Like, they kept improving every single season. And we saw, or not a lot of people saw what was about to happen. But obviously, Chet went down for an injury. They didn't have their rookie center that they drafted with the second pick. But obviously, they saw flashes with Jalen Williams, J-Dub. I made a video about him, of how he broke out. Or not really broke out. He's averaging basically the same number as a comment told me, but he's the second option on that team right now. But Jalen Williams was the 16th or the 14th pick. One of those picks. But he obviously blossomed into one of the best players in that 2022 draft, and they walked away with, if you want to arguably say, a top 4 players in that draft class. But in the 2022-2023 season, Shai averaged 31.5 points per game, 5 rebounds, and 5.5 assists. And Shai has improved from that season. I believe the Thunder were the 9th or the 10th seed that season, 9th, 10th, or 11th. But you saw what was gonna happen. I'm pretty sure you could see what was coming. I hope you did, but that was. I'm pretty sure. Nah, Chet was out this season. My bad. I got the years messed up. And Jalen Williams wasn't even out yet. So, damn, that's kind of awkward. But in the next season, obviously last season, when Chet played his rookie year and Jalen Williams played his second season, in the 2022-2023 season, Shai averaged 30 points per game, 5.5 rebounds, and 6 assists. And the numbers weren't as high as last year, but everything all around was the rebounds and the assists, and he became an overall best player. And this is when, debatably, he could have won the MVP award. A lot of people don't agree with the Jokic vote, and we see what Jokic is doing now, but Shai cold-heartedly deserved that award along with Luka, so you can't really say that he's not deserving of that, because he was. But right now, and I forgot to say, the Thunder were not supposed to be the first seed last season. If anybody predicted that, except for Thunder fans or delusional fans, they want to sound like they're smarter, the Thunder were not supposed to be at the top of the West. It was way too early, and we seen that young team, Shai could lead that very young team to greatness, and they were the number 1 seed. Obviously, they got knocked out in the second round, but they picked up Isaiah Hartenstein, and their defense is one of the best defensive teams I've seen in a long time. And this is without Chet Holmgren, by the way, which is their starting center and a Defensive Player of the Year candidate from last year as a rookie. And this season, he was looking like an all-star before he obviously threw something in his back, and he's been out ever since. But this season, he's averaging 30 points per game, 5.5 rebounds, and 6 assists. And this season, he's playing more of a point guard role. I've noticed his playmaking has got it a lot better. Because last year they had Giddey, obviously, and that put Shai in more of an off-ball role as a scorer. But he still averaged 6 assists, but it's just different, I feel like. Because if you watch him, you can notice that he's getting his teammates more involved, and he's become a better passer than he was years prior. But yeah, but compared to Curry seasons in the Curry didn't have his first breakout season really till it was the 2014-15 season when he averaged 24 points per game, 4.5 rebounds, and 7 assists. And obviously, this was his MVP season. And if you put Shai in 2015, he's winning that MVP, no debate at all. And obviously, the East or the NBA didn't have as much talent as it does now, but you couldn't obviously put that up with Shai. Shai's last season and Shai's this season, you could put that up with Curry's MVP since from 2015. I'm not going to say 2016 because that was unanimous. I'm not going to go that crazy. But in Westbrook didn't really break out. He was obviously still an all-star. He was averaging 23 and 7 his whole career. But he really didn't have the whole highest scoring output or a scoring leading season till 2014-15 like Curry. But this was when Durant was out and they didn't get to the playoffs this season. He averaged 28 points per game, 7.5 rebounds, and 8.5 assists. But Shai's career is going to keep improving, and I think he has a chance to pass Westbrook. But if he gets a championship, they're going to call him the best Thunder of all time. But I just appreciate what Westbrook did for that franchise. He stayed loyal until obviously he had enough, but it looks like Shai could be there his whole career. I'm not going to say like it's for a sure thing because you never know in the future. The Thunder could blow it up, all that, blah, blah, blah. But Sam Presti is a good general manager now. Back then he wasn't. But now it looks like he knows how to put a team together. And it looks like Shai is not going anywhere for the next 20 years. But let me know how you feel about Shai Gilgeous-Alexander down below. Subscribe. I hope you enjoy it. I got some videos right here. If you enjoyed this video you just watched, video on the right, video on the left. And Click on it.